Hey, what's going on gamers? It's Ryan 6 days a week, and today we're going to be comparing the Arming Sword and the Falchion. The top two answers I got when I asked you about your favorite primary weapon when playing as a sword and shield fighter a few days ago. From the poll, they're about equal, but is one actually better than the other? Let's start off by looking at the stats. In terms of raw damage, the Falchion is the clear winner with a range that sits roughly 35% higher than the Arming Sword across all rarities. Weapon damage is the only base value that is affected by rarity, so I'm just going to list the epic rarity number here for readability. The Arming Sword does, however, have higher mobility, as it has a tad less of an equipped movement speed penalty. This difference of 5 ms is equal to 1.66 move speed percentage when converted. So from just comparing the item panel information, you may say that the Falchion is objectively better, as a roughly 35% increase in damage is much more impactful than the 1.66 increase in movement speed, right? Well, before we jump to that conclusion, let's look at some of the hidden stats. Not only do different weapons have different equipped movement speed penalties, they also have different action movement speed penalties, or a reduction in movement speed while you are swinging your weapon. This is where the Arming Sword really feels more mobile, as it has an action movement speed penalty of minus 25%, opposed to the Falchion's minus 30%. So the movement advantage of the Arming Sword really is closer to 6.66% faster, instead of just 1.66%. Now, let's compare the actual attacks of each weapon. The Arming Sword has a 3-chain combo that is composed of 2 diagonal slash attacks, and is finished with a stab. The Falchion is also a 3-chain combo, but is only made up of slashes, the first 2 being horizontal, and the last being more vertical. From this alone, the Arming Sword has an apparent advantage in more narrow spaces. Its starting diagonal slash also makes blocking it a bit more difficult, especially for some two-hand weapons, notably the longsword, as described in Augison's parrying video. As the first Arming Sword attack runs almost parallel to the length of a longsword block, the Arming Sword also has a faster swing speed at each combo step, meaning the attack will connect faster than the Falchion at equal agility. Not only does this make landing attacks a bit easier, it makes returning to the guard pose faster, which leads to more successful blocks. I added in the combo damage modifier numbers too, even though they're equal, but I think it's good information to consider when we compare weapons in the future. The final points I'm going to touch on are the impact power and on-hit slow effect, in which the Falchion does win on both. Higher impact power means that the Falchion has a bit more stagger when blocked, and it takes 2 less hits to break barrels and barriers. On-hit slow means that the Falchion has greater slow effect when landing hits on your opponent, so really the movement speed penalty isn't that bad if you're continuously chaining your hits. In summary, if you prefer more mobility and higher attack speed, go with the Arming Sword. But for higher raw damage output and more cleave, choose the Falchion. I know it's not a definitive answer on which one is better, but I will say that I've had more success in PvP with the Arming Sword, but faster PvE room clearing times with the Falchion. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this content. Also, a big thanks to everyone who participated in the poll. The more data I can get is always better. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.